another edition of Under the Hat.
Howdy.
I'm Bellboy.
And I'm Sydney.
Today we're going to be talking about the top 5 Wrestlemanias in our opinion. Hopefully you agree with us. If not, we'd like to hear your thoughts as well.
So let's get this show on the road, eh, Bellboy?
Let's do it, Sydney.
At number 5, we have Wrestlemania XVIII.
Now, Wrestlemania XVIII was from the Sky Dome in Toronto, Canada. The second time it was there. The first one was back at Wrestlemania VI, and it was a good reminiscent mania. We thought it was part of the time when the old school was coming back into it, and it really did have a lot of history behind it, with so many of the great legends coming back, and it really made for a very, very memorable show. Obviously you got Rock and Hogan, which was
It's simply electrifying.
match for the ages, really. The atmosphere in the Rock and the Hogan match, I've never heard anything like it before.
Never.
It's absolutely incredible. Triple H coming back from that return into the main event was a great match. Well, the match wasn't so good, but the entrance made up for it, I believe.
The build-up and the way he made it to Mania with his return,
Drowning Pool, singing
it
him in.
all added to it. And then to see the NWO with Hogan, Scott Hall,
Priceless.
Nash.
It was priceless.
Plus we had Flair back fighting The Undertaker, two legends,
Yeah.
a good tribute match.
Very good tribute match. Reminded me of the old school. I remember Flair actually did say that. Yeah.
So that's Wrestlemania XVIII.
Coming in at number 5. So now, coming in at number 4 is Wrestlemania VI. From, once again, Sky Dome, Toronto. Same place. About 12 years earlier. And boy, was it a good one. I remember watching this years and years ago, thinking that the setting was awesome, the commentary was great. Jesse Ventura and Gorilla Monsoon, they gelled so well together. Jesse Ventura's last pay-per-view, and he went out with a bang with that one.
It was the first Mania in Canada. You had Dusty Rhodes in the mixed tag match, which was, in my eyes, really, really good to see, with Elizabeth coming out. Savage and Sherry were on one team, and then you had Dusty Rhodes winning the match, and then them all doing the little dance at the end.
Dance at the end. Sapphire, Elizabeth and Dusty.
Yeah,
Give it
brilliant.
some.
To American Dream. Top tune as well, wouldn't you say, Bellboy?
Oh yeah, one of the best ones. He dances like no other, does Dusty.
And then you had the tag team match with Demolition.
What a pop. What a pop.
Yeah.
I think that's probably one of the best pops I've ever heard, when they won those titles.
A great Mania pop.
The whole of the Sky Dome just erupted, and
and then on to the Ultimate Challenge. I mean, this is what this Mania is all about.
Oh, it is.
You had two faces in the main event, which was the first.
Rare in those days.
And at the time, I mean, you had half Warrior fans, half Hogan fans. It was just immense.
Well, I believe they didn't actually decide who was going to win that until about now before the actual event. So they were pretty confused themselves.
If we didn't have this match, we might not have had the same good match with Rock and Hogan. Which is better? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's number 4. Right, so now we got number 3, which is Wrestlemania XII. A very patriotic mania this was. You had Hulk Hogan with the Stars and Stripes American Pride sort of character, and then you had Sergeant Slaughter, who was at the time with the Gulf War going on. It was a very controversial sort of storyline. You also had the start of the winning streak of The Undertaker, who is now an absolute legend. This was his first Mania, so this made it a very special Mania for that reason. I think overall though, wouldn't you say that the Randy Savage Warrior match for the career-ending match was probably the best on the card?
I'd say that was the best. I think that the most heat behind it, even with the patriotic theme with Hogan and Slaughter.
It wasn't the main event, but it probably stood out as being the best match.
Especially with that unbelievable ending, with the Miss Elizabeth and Randy Savage coming back together again. That's priceless, really. An impressive event start to end. Everyone really in very, very peak condition, I believe.
So that's Wrestlemania XII.
So now, coming in at number 2, we've got Wrestlemania X7. Wrestlemania 17 was a milestone, I believe, in the Wrestlemania legacy. The first time back in a dome since Wrestlemania 8, tremendous opening to Wrestlemania.
You had a great feud with Shane McMahon and his dad, the evil Vince McMahon. That was an exceptional match. I mean, you had Mick Foley, the special guest referee. You had Linda McMahon coming out, Stephanie McMahon, and you had that good leap of faith that Shane McMahon did. I mean, what a move.
Yeah. Gimmick Battle Royal was another little highlight of mine. I like the way they reminisced back in the old days. Bobby the Brain and Mean Gene came out and did the colour commentary, which had a nice little tribute to the old school. The Triple H Undertaker match, great feud to come up to it.
Very well scripted match.
Yeah, very well scripted.
This was... I thought Taker's streak was going to be ended. I really did.
Yeah.
That sledgehammer.
When he hit it with the sledgehammer, I've seen a million matches end like that, and I was shocked to see him kick out.
Great promos in Wrestlemania 17. Really good soundtrack. I mean, we're probably one of our favourites in Limp Bizkit's It's My Way.
My way or highway. That was great. But probably the icing on top of the proverbial cake was The Rock and Austin. Had to be, really. It was the main event. Austin in his hometown, Texas, going for the title. What can you say?
And the biggest shot ever, in my opinion, to hit WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Biggest heel turn ever. Austin teams up with his arch nemesis, Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Well, there you have it. Wrestlemania X7 at number 2.
Okay, and finally, for number 1, the top hat, which, in our opinion, is Wrestlemania 8. Wrestlemania 8, I would say, it arguably had the best card ever. Every match seemed to have a top superstar of that time. And you also had great stars of today starting off at Wrestlemania 8.
You had Brett and Piper in a great Intercontinental title match. Very interesting promo at the start. Absolutely brilliantly they gelled together, two faces, friends, and then they had a great match together. One of the best Intercontinental Championship matches, I think, of all time.
Macho Man versus Ric Flair. A very good feud going into this one.
Yeah, you had the Flair making out he was with Elizabeth back in the day, and basically taking Savage off his game. Well, that was a great match, and they both put on a very good performance.
And then I would say, just pipping it at the post would be the other main event. You had Hulk Hogan versus Sid.
I think Hogan was kind of thinking it was going to be his last match. They were kind of bigging up the pay-per-view as a Hogan possible farewell match. Well,
we don't know about that.
Yeah, he was at 19, he was 18, and 21. So,
Hogan, we'll see you next year.
Most likely. That match probably was cream to the crop. Icing on top of the proverbial cake once again.
Well, the thing that did make this the cream of the crop, Papa Shango, a heel coming out to help out Sid, Warrior making a return.
Yeah.
Warrior and Hogan teaming up. We could, as a kid, I couldn't believe it.
It was great. The Warrior's music hit, and he came down, and it was a great end. The fireworks, Hogan shocked the Warrior was back.
So that's our top hat. WrestleMania 8.
Right, so there you have it. Next week we got our next instalment. It's our Cyber Sunday reviews and predictions. So please join us for that one.
And until next time, what goes on under the hat
stays
stays
under the hat.